It was 19th of December, and I was coming around the curve. I wasn't going very fast. Picked up our son Mike, and swerved to miss a deer and lost control in the gravel. And it was a really steep ditch, and we rolled over, and I didn't know anything was wrong. Crawled out the window. We couldn't get the doors open. It was a pickup. And then my son and daughter-in-law, they were trying to help me because I couldn't hardly use my left arm at that time, and had to get up on the road, and I was crawling up the steep ditch, and it was just about straight up and down, and they were trying to help me, push me along. I said, just wait, I'll get up here myself, and because it was hurting, but my back or neck didn't hurt. I got up on the road, and I said, now you can help me get up. Well, we had our radios with, and Mike called Marilyn, and she could hear him, but either our battery was going dead in the radio, or he didn't have the volume up. I don't know which, but then he just walked a little bit further up on the hill and called. But it only happened a mile east of here, you know. I've driven on the road thousands of times.
They brought Tim home to the house, and he looked dazed, kind of, and Mike explained what had happened. And I asked about the emergency room, and he kept saying, no, I'm okay, it's just my arm. But then as the night wore on, he had more pain and whatever, and went into the emergency room the next morning to see what was happening. Yes, a lot of anxiety, frustration, trying to find out what was causing all this.
Still didn't know. I mean, didn't know anything for several days that my neck was broke. Well, and they took a picture of it, or an x-ray in Williston. They said, you better go to Minot. And I went to Minot, and they said, you better go to Minneapolis. But they said if I just coughed or sneezed wrong, I could have been paralyzed. I mean, we should have been area ambulance right away to Hennepin in Minneapolis, where we were. But they said, well, I was pretty fortunate to still be walking. And then we got, the operation was on 8th of?
Yep, January 8th.
8th of January. And was in a halo for 3 months, and this for 6 weeks now, I think.
Yeah, just about 2 months.
Yeah. And I've been taking it off a couple hours a day now. Nothing hurts, so, but my fingers are still kind of tingly yet, even from it. But everything's getting better. I'm not very strong yet, but.
However, you still are not supposed to drive because you can't turn your neck, and you can only lift up to 10 pounds till we get the next x-ray. And
hopefully that'll change.
And they said that there was no way you could ride in a tractor and the bouncing, jarring over the fields, that there was absolutely no way that you could do that. So this planting season, we needed help.
We farm about 2,000 acres, and we run about 70 head of cows, several horses, and we have, I suppose, another 1,200 acres of pasture. It was our kids that talked us in to put in an application for farm rescue. I was hoping to be okay by this time, but.
The application consisted of a financial statement that we do every spring anyway, and some maps of the land that we would like them to seed, a form from the FSA which they could print out for us, and just some questions about what had happened and what kind of help did we need.
But I don't remember the two folks, or the two guys that come up here after we had applied for it, but they saw her and they saw me, and they said, I can't really speak for the for the other people, but I think you guys would probably be qualified for a little help.
And we were very thankful that they could do that for us. The volunteers were great. Janita helped. She came in and was a great help, saying, cooking, of course, was the big thing, and finding out what everybody could eat, didn't eat, and their daughters were so easy to be around and polite, and they enjoyed. We had a horse they could ride, and our dogs, and so yeah, they seemed to have a good time. And it was a few days that they said was one of the longer stays, because more acres than a lot of places, and no, everything went well.
The Saley farm there in Fortuna was just real neat for our girls again. It seems like everywhere we go they find dogs for sure, but they had a real bonus with some horses. And there was one gentle mare, Sierra, who the girls got to ride just without us even having to lead it. And there was a granddaughter too who had a great time having a couple of playmates out there. Just a wonderful family. It was neat. Over the weekend their sons-in-law came to help the little bit they could in between their jobs, but everyone was so grateful that we were here to be able to put in the 1,000 acres for them.
Very nice and polite. And I asked the girls, I said, is it hard for you to get used to different diets, different ways of cooking? And they said, yeah, it is. But you would never know it. When they came to meals, everybody was thankful and always expressed their thanks, and easy to work with.
Yeah, they were very easy to work with, both Jack and Dave. I mean, I worked with them, and they were really pleasant to work with, and they did a good job out there. They spent many hours, and probably 20-hour days there to finish us up. And they let us know when they needed seed, fertilizer, or fuel, and they were really easy to work with. I would like to thank all our friends and relatives around here, our son and sons-in-laws, and a brother-in-law that between him and our son that did the chores all winter, and then my cousins had come to help, and then farm rescue for this. I mean, it's been fantastic. I don't know what we'd have done without any of them. It's been super. I was telling both Dave and Jack that I'd like to trade them even up for my 84 and my Morris, but they didn't want to do that. No, that was a pretty nice outfit they were using, that's for sure.
Yeah, RDO must be a great sponsor to provide equipment like that. They're people that seem to be good community sponsors. I've seen a lot of them responsible for a lot of things going on in the communities, and I think it's great that they express their concern and help. They're big institutions like Bremer and RDO and the banks listed and ag companies.
I don't think we would have done this if it wasn't for our kids that pushed us to do it. They kept asking, you better do it. Well, I was hoping that I would be okay by now, that we'll get her done. But there's no way. I mean, I've done, even the last month, I've done so much more now, than I could have. And now I'm so much better than I was a month ago, and every few weeks I could really tell the difference in my strength in my arm. And I'd always did say my triceps stayed in Minnesota. They never did come home with me. But
we're thankful for all the help from family and friends. But they all have jobs and their own work, and it was so great that Farm Rescue could come, and they've made that their mission, and they really tend to business, and the most that they can do is done without question, and we're very thankful that they could do that for us.
You can tell just working around them that they're doing it because they know they're helping somebody, and it's just fantastic.